How's it going, everyone? We have the reveal of Ghosts of Yōtei, and it is coming in 2025, and boy oh boy, does the PlayStation blog illustrate some very interesting information about this game. I thought we were gonna have a game continuing Jin's story. Oh baby, that ain't the case. At least that seemingly ain't the case, especially given that this game takes place how many years after the end of Ghost of Tsushima? Oh, 300 years after Ghost of Tsushima, so let's talk all about it. Look, it's Sucker Punch, I'ma let them cook. You know, this is a case where Sucker Punch has built enough goodwill with me. I love me some Infamous, I love me my Sly Cooper, I love me my Ghost of Tsushima, and I'ma let Sucker Punch cook, you know? Let's just see what they're gonna do. I'm sure they have a reason for this. Today we are so happy to announce Ghosts of Yotei, the latest game from Sucker Punch, and the introduction of our new hero, Atsu. When we set out to make a new Ghost game, we wanted to maintain the core pillars established in Ghost of Tsushima, playing as a wandering warrior in feudal Japan, offering freedom to explore at your own pace and highlighting the beauty of the world. We also wanted to continue to innovate, to create something fresh but familiar. We looked beyond Jin Sakai's story and the island of Tsushima and shifted our focus to the idea of the ghost instead. As at Sucker Punch, we love origin stories, and we wanted to explore what it could mean to have a new hero wearing a ghost mask and uncovering a new legend. This led us to Ghosts of Yotei, a new protagonist, a new story to unfold, and a new region of Japan to explore. While we aren't diving into story specifics yet today, we can reveal that Atsu's journey takes place in 1603, more than 300 years after the events of Ghost of Tsushima. Our story is set in the land surrounding Mount Yotei, a towering peak in the heart of Ezo, an area of Japan known as Hokkaido in present day. In 1603, this area was outside the rule of Japan and filled with sprawling grasslands, snowy tundras, and unexpected dangers. It's a far cry from the organized samurai clans who lived in Tsushima, and it's the setting for an original story we can't wait to tell. This is also Sucker Punch's first game built from the ground up for PlayStation 5, and we're excited to build on the visual foundation we established in Ghost of Tsushima by making the world feel even more real. We have massive sight lines that let you look far across the environment, whole new skies featuring twinkling stars and auroras, even more believable movement from wind on grass and vegetation, and more improvements we'll share in the future. Our new setting also gives us the opportunity to introduce new mechanics, gameplay improvements, and even new weapons. Our trailer today offers a glimpse into the world, but there's so much more to show, and we'll have much more to share in the months ahead, including details about Atsu's journey and the people and animals she'll meet along the way. We are forever grateful for the success of Ghost of Tsushima, and we can't wait for you all to experience Ghost of Yotei in 2025. The best news of them all, the game ain't being revealed 5 to 7 years ahead of time. I thought, you know, most of us knew that was going to be a reality. You just look at what Sucker Punch has been working on. They put out Ghost of Tsushima in 2020. Tsushima got an expansion in 2021, but this game has been long in development, and it's probably finishing up development at this point, or at the latter stage of it. Bear in mind that given that it just announced for 2025, I would imagine that this is going to be in the latter portion of the year, and honestly, I don't think it's going to be a year where we get 2 major first-party titles. I think we'll get the 1 major first-party game in Ghost of Yotei. We'll get Death Stranding 2, we'll get some smaller games here and there, Horizon Zero Dawn remastered style, but overall, like, yo, I'm excited for that. 1 game is all I need. My expectations out of Sony are in the ground these days. We ain't going back to 2009, we ain't going back to even 2020. Sony ain't about that life anymore. They ain't in the business about putting out a lot of marquee games a year anymore, so I'll take my 1 game, and the game I think looks great. And yes, part of me is very skeptical on, okay, this isn't a game centered around Jin. Like, I loved Jin as a character. I know the rhetoric going back to 2020 was a lot of, you know, Jin was a bad character. I couldn't even believe that notion was online. The only reason you would have that notion is if you didn't beat the game. I thought Jin's character arc was masterfully executed, and I was so interested that now we have Jin established as this character, to see that character of who Jin is now to be in an entire game, and then, you know, having Jin as he was at the end of Tsushima and telling that story of his next character arc, I thought would have been fascinating, but instead we're going 300 years, you know, 300 years into the future from Tsushima, 300 years later, and in a lot of cases I would be very skeptical on it. I would be like, okay, you're doing Jin dirty here. I'm not ready to say that. At the end of the day, if you assess Tsushima for what it is, I can on one hand, understand why Sucker Punch would want Tsushima to be like kind of the cap off to Jin's story, and they told that story. I just think there's a lot more directions you could go, and in all honesty, they could easily go back, and you don't know how Ghosts of Yotei will be executed. You don't know what this game is going to entail entirely. I'm sure Jin is going to be mentioned at some point. You would have to think, and you know, they could plant seeds for in Ghosts of Yotei that will call back to Jin, and they could do another game on Jin. I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas here. I don't know what they're ultimately going to do, but there's a very obvious reason why they're being coy about the story. You know, there's a lot of opportunities for different ways that they can go, and I'm not ready to just bug out on Sucker Punch for not having Jin in this game, or not building the game around Jin, I should say that. But at this point, Sucker Punch is one of those studios that, at least to me, has built an not infinite, but a lot of goodwill. When they do something, when they make a decision, after they delivered the banger that was Ghost of Tsushima, I can step back and I can be like, all right, I'm gonna let them cook. I'm gonna let them make the game that they are gonna be the most comfortable to make, and I'm not gonna bug out at this point over Jin not being in the game. Look, I love Jin as a character, one of my favorite PlayStation characters ever, but at the same time, it's Sucker Punch. Every game, literally every single game they have put out, I have adored it. I think they're one of Sony's more underrated first parties. When you look at Sony's first party, it's always Naughty Dog, it's always Santa Monica, even Guerrilla getting a lot of attention. I feel like Sucker Punch doesn't get that level of attention, but you look at what they've done from Sly to Infamous to Ghost. Like, it's been banger after banger after banger as far as they are concerned, and I'm so curious, and I like them being a little coy. I like this idea of, this is something completely out of left field that I was not expecting as far as, you know, going a little bit ahead in time, 300 years later. And they're obviously going to do this for a reason. I believe that Sucker Punch decided this for a very specific reason, and that reason to be unfolding and seeing where it goes. I'm fascinated by that, and I'm interested in that. I'm captivated by that, so hopefully it does turn out well. PlayStation needs a banger in 2025 from first party, and this is exactly what myself and so many others have been hoping for as far as a follow-up to the success of Ghost of Tsushima, which is, in my opinion, one of the best games PlayStation has ever put out. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. So excited for it. Hopefully we'll get the rollout of more information probably towards the early portion of 2025, but that'll do it for me. Sound off below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.